Hey everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we will download the necessary tools that we need to start developing for Android. So let's get started. The very first thing that we need is something called Java Development Kit or the JDK. So to download JDK, just write on Google download JDK and click on the very first result. And it will take you to a page like this on the Oracle website. And from there, you just need to click on this Java. And we don't need NetBeans. It comes also with JDK, but we don't need NetBeans. We need the Java only. So just click on that and it will take you to a page like this. So in this page, you need to download the Java Development Kit. As you can see there, we have a couple of packages. Now you can select the package which offers you only Java Development Kit and then download the one for your version. As an example, you can download, if you're on Windows, you can download this Windows version, Windows 64-bit or 32-bit. And if you are on Mac or Linux, you can download these other versions as well. So before downloading, you just need to click on this license agreement and only then you will be able to download this. Just click on that and download will get started. Once you have downloaded that, you need to install that and you need to make sure that you remember the directory where you are installing it. By default, it will be installed. By default, it will be installed in your C, program files, Java, JDK. So this is the default location where it will be installed by default. But if you change the location where it is installing, then you need to make sure that you remember the location because we will need this location later on. Okay. So once you have done that, now what you need to do is you need to download the Android SDK. So after downloading JDK, you need to download the Android SDK. So again, go to Google and search for download Android SDK and just click on the very first result. And it will take you to the Android developer website. And as you can see, the very first option it will give you is to download Android Studio along with SDK. But that's a pretty huge download and we don't need Android Studio for this case. We need only the Android SDK because we are not going to build native Android apps. We're going to build Android games with Unity, not the native apps. So that is why we don't need this Android Studio IDE. We just need the Android SDK. And you can get the SDK down below the page. So just navigate to below the page and at the bottom section, you will see that here we have this SDK tools only package. On the top of that, you can see they have Android Studio packages and below that you have SDK tools package. So from here, you need to download this Windows installer or if you're on Mac or Linux, you can download this Mac or Linux version. Okay, so from here you just need to download the Windows installer and that will be okay. Once you have downloaded that, just double click to install that and again make sure to remember the directory where you are actually installing it. Okay, otherwise there will be a lot of problems, so make sure to remember the directory where you are actually installing that. Okay, now that we have downloaded our JDK and SDK, both of them, now we need to set them up. So first of all, we need to set up the JDK. So to do that, you just need to go to your computer first of all. And as you can see, I have installed my JDK inside program files, Java, JDK 1.8.0, and this is the location. So if you go inside this bin folder, you can see a lot of things. So we need the file path location of this bin folder because all the things that we need like Java compiler and all the other things that we need to execute Java programs are here. So this is the location that we need. So we're going to select any of them, any of the things that we have here, right click and go to properties. And here you can see the file path location we have here. We can just right click and copy this location because we need to paste this location in our environment variables so that our computer and anything installed in our computer can access this JDK automatically. Okay, so now we have copied it. We need to paste it somewhere. Now again, let me go to my computer. From there, we need to right click, go to properties. From here, you need to go to advanced system settings, environment variables, and here we need to create a new environment variable. So you can click on this new button to create a new environment variable. I have already created these new environment variables here. So first of all, you need to create new, and for the variable name, give path, and for the variable value, just paste the value that we have copied with bin. So paste the value with bin and click OK. So now we have selected, now we have set up our path. One more thing we need to do is we need to click on new one more time. This time we need to write Java underscore home in capital. So make sure to write Java underscore home in capital, and then for the variable value we need to paste this thing, and we need to just remove the bin from here. Okay, so we need to paste this thing and just remove the bin from outside. So in case of path we have the bin, and in case of Java home we don't need to do the bin. So now we just click OK. Okay, so now we have set up our JDK. If you need to make sure that if you have properly installed JDK or not, you just go to your command prompt, and after going to your command prompt, you just write Java and press enter. And after pressing enter, if you see all these things come out on the screen, that means that you have successfully installed and set up the path of your JDK. And if you haven't done that, then it will give you an error like Java command is unrecognized or something like that. So make sure to check out the steps again and do it so that you don't get that error. So now we have the JDK set up. We now need to set up our Android SDK. Hopefully you have downloaded and installed the Android SDK, because now is the time when we will need it. And make sure to remember the location where you have installed. In my case, it is installed in Android SDK, this folder. So we will need the location of this folder. Now what you need to do is you need to go to this SDK manager from here. This SDK manager helps us to download all the things that are inside this Android SDK. So what you need to do is, if you open this Android SDK, it will probably ask you to download a lot of things or install a lot of packages. As you can see, currently it is asking me to install 8 packages, but I already have the necessary features installed. So when you create this, you should have this and install the necessary features, and also update this regularly. When you get an update, update them. And you should also download and install this Android support repository and these Google Play services. Okay, so make sure to download this Android support repository and Google Play services, because we will need them when we will install plugins and we will do other things like integrating ads, integrating Google Play services, and integrating leaderboards and achievements and all that. So make sure to install Google Play services and Android support repository. Okay, so once you have installed all these things, then you will have your Android SDK set up as well. Now we will only need the path to our Android SDK and path to our JDK, and we need to copy them to Unity so that Unity can find these things. Okay, so hope you have done everything up to this point. Now we need to set Unity so that it can find the Android SDK and the JDK. So now let us open up Unity. Wait for some time for it to load. Okay, so now we need to just create a blank project. Just create a new project, and I'm gonna create a blank project right here. So I'm gonna just name it Test Android and click on create project. and wait for it to create a project for you. And once it's ready, it will open like this. Now what you need to do is you need to go to Edit, Preferences, and from the preferences you need to click on this External Tools. If you click on these external tools, you will see that we have this SDK and the JDK. So we need to set up the path for both of them. Now in my case, I have already set up this path, but in your case, you don't have these paths. So what you need to do is you need to simply click on this SDK. You need to click on that. You don't need to click on that. You just click on Browse and just find out your SDK. In my case, I have the SDK inside Android SDK. So I'm just gonna click this Android SDK file and click on Select Folder. Okay. And for the JDK, I'm gonna go to Browse, C, Program Files, Java, JDK. And now I'm gonna select folder, and as you can see, now it also has access to my JDK. So now the Android SDK and the JDK, both of the locations are copied inside Unity. So now Unity is ready to build Android games. So just cancel it out, and now you can see that we are ready for Android, ready for building our games for Android. And hopefully you have also installed the Android module while installing the Unity, because if you haven't installed that Android module, then we will not be able to build for Android. Now to check that, you just click on File, Build Settings, and as you can see here, I have this Android option. If you haven't installed the Android module, then you won't have this switch platform option for Android. As you can see, I haven't installed these modules, so I cannot switch platform to this one. The same way, if you haven't installed the Android module while installing Unity, you won't have this switch platform option. So now if I click on switch platform, now as you can see, our current platform is Android. So now we will be able to build our game for Android and publish it to Android. So we are all set up with Unity and JDK, SDK, and all that stuff that we need. So now we need to start building Android games. So hopefully you will enjoy it and learn something. In the next videos, we will keep setting up our Unity and other things, and then we will start finally building games. So all the best, and see you in the next videos.